Hi there, students. I will dedicate the next lessons to show you how to conjugate all the Spanish regular verbs into all the Spanish conjugation forms, right? We will see 22 conjugation tenses or verbal tenses in Spanish, including the imperative, right? And some of them were very quite infrequent to use in a normal conversation, but nevertheless we will still study them. Okay, I will show you how to conjugate all the regular verbs that belong to the group of verbs that end in ar or ar, the groups of verbs that end in er or er, and the groups of verbs that end in ir or ir, right? So Spanish verbs are classified into those three big groups, and I will show you the rule for conjugating the verbs in the three of those big groups. Okay, we will start with the present tense of indicative. Actually, in Spanish we call it presente del modo indicativo, right? That would be simple present. And anyway, I will show you, to begin, I will show you all the different verbal tenses that Spanish language has, right? And in the next lessons, we will see each one of these tenses that I will introduce to you right now, right? I will dedicate one lesson for each verbal tense, and that way we will be able to go through all of them, right? So we divide the conjugation tenses in Spanish between modo indicativo and modo subjuntivo, right? In normal conversation, what we use usually is modo indicativo. Let's see which are these, right? So, modo indicativo, we have presente or simple present. We have pretérito indefinido or simple past, right? We have futuro simple or future. We have this other way of saying the future that I will teach you because it's easier for English speakers, right? For example, in English we can say I will go or I am going to go, right? I will eat or I'm going to eat. Okay, this second kind of future conjugation in Spanish is what I will call future two. The imperative form for the affirmative and the imperative form for the negative, right? And why do we have one for the affirmative and one for the negative? Because there are two pronouns, two subject pronouns, you plural and you singular, that differ in their conjugation for the affirmative and for the negative. We will see the pretérito imperfecto, the conditional simple, modo condicional simple, modo condicional perfecto or compuesto, participio presente or gerundio, this is what we call present continuous in English, pretérito perfecto or past perfect. We will learn pretérito pluscuamperfecto, or what we call past continuous in English, pretérito anterior, and futuro perfecto, right? This is another kind of future conjugation, and another one that we'll call future continuous, right? And now we will also see the list of conjugations of what we call in Spanish modo subjuntivo, right? We have presente del modo subjuntivo, right? This is another different type of present. It's not present of the modo indicativo, which is the one we always use. It's not I go, you go. That is what we call indicativo. This is modo subjuntivo, and we will learn it in a later on class. Pretérito perfecto o antepresente del modo subjuntivo. Pretérito imperfecto o pretérito del subjuntivo. pretérito pluscuamperfecto o antepretérito del subjuntivo. Sorry. Let me go back to the presentation. Here we are. Let's see. So, we were in antepretérito del modo subjuntivo, okay? We have futuro simple or futuro del modo subjuntivo and futuro perfecto o antefuturo del modo subjuntivo. So, this conjugation that we call modo subjuntivo includes 6 different tenses, and we will leave these for the last, okay? So let's begin with the topic of this, our present lesson. Yes, this we will see the simple present of the modo indicativo. We will learn modo indicativo presente, and we will begin with the verbs that belong to the group of verbs that end in ar or ar, okay? Let's take, for example, the verb hablar. Hablar is an example of a verb that belongs to a group of verbs that end in ar, and it is a regular verb. That's why we'll use this as an example. Hablar means to speak. An example is yo hablo, or I speak in English. So, here we have the conjugation of the verb hablar. Yo hablo, I speak. Tú hablas, you speak. Él habla or ella habla, he or she speaks. And we have usted habla. Remember, usted is the formal way of addressing somebody, but it is you. It is a second person of the singular. However, it is the formal you, and it conjugates as if it were the third person of the singular, right? So, tú and usted are both you, but one is informal, the other one is formal. When do we use usted? When we are addressing somebody we are unrelated to, for example, somebody in the street, somebody in a shop, okay, or also somebody that is hierarchically superior to us, like our boss. In the case of a boss that really wants to maintain some distance, so he is required to be addressed in the formal way, right, as usted. Also, when we address elderly people or somebody that is much older than us, as a respectful way, just to show respect, we address them as usted, right? Nosotros hablamos. Nosotros hablamos is we speak. Vosotros habláis. You speak. Ustedes hablan. Also, you speak. And ellos hablan. They speak. Remember that vosotros and ustedes mean the same thing. It is you plural. But vosotros is the word used, or the form used in Spain, and ustedes is a form used in Latin America. Now, I'll show you how to conjugate all the verbs, the regular verbs that end in er into the present. So these are the verbs of the group that end in er. For example, the verb comer, the verb to eat, in tiempo presente, simple present. Example, yo como, or I eat. Yo como is I eat, right? Tú comes, he eats. Él come, ella come, or usted come, if we want to address somebody formally. Nosotros comemos, vosotros coméis, ustedes comen, and ellos comen. Take a look at this. The part I have left, the part of the verb I left in blue is what we call the root of the verb. The root of the verb is what remains once we strip off the ending of the verb. The ending is those last two letters that indicate what group the verb belongs to, right? It can be AR or ER or IR, because all the verbs